Okay. So level 2, question number 7, Mr. Gagan travelled from his home to his school 10 kilometers towards north. So what is he doing, children? This person Gagan has travelled 10 kilometers towards which direction? Towards north. Displacement of Mr. Gagan is, so you have displacement means consists of two quantities. One is magnitude as well as the direction. Okay, whereas distance only magnitude, only how much, but displacement indicates both direction as well as magnitude. What is the magnitude here? Given as 10 kilometers. And which direction was he moving? North direction. So it has both magnitude as well as direction. So displacement of Mr. Gagan has both the magnitude as well as direction. Not a scalar, not only magnitude, not only direction. It has both. Hence, correct option is option 2. Moving ahead with the next question, children. 8th one, choose the correct statement. So, how to identify the correct statement from this, children? Temperature is a vector quantity. Temperature is a scalar quantity. Electric charge is a vector, and all of this. Yes, children, as we have discussed that temperature has no specific direction, so temperature must be a scalar quantity but not a vector. Yes, temperature is a scalar quantity. Now moving to the electric charge, children. So generally electric charge, okay, have direction, because let us suppose that we consider two wires, wire 1 and wire 2, and these two wires, the current must be flowing in two different directions, and all together it is moving in the third way after joining here. But even though the electric current has a specific direction and some amount, say for example 1 ampere of current, 2 ampere of current, totally we have 3 ampere of current, some magnitude is there. Some direction is also there. So generally we may think that vector have both magnitude and direction. As electric current is having both magnitude and direction, it might be a vector quantity. No. Electric current is always a scalar quantity, because in the beginning I already told you that vectors always must obey vector law of addition. So that vector law of addition you will be learning in the higher classes, children. Once you are clear with that vector law of addition, you will understand that electric current is not a vector quantity. Hence it should be considered as a scalar quantity. So that means the vector law of addition fails here. Electric current, the property of electric current does not goes good with the vector law of addition. Okay. Hence electric charge is not a vector quantity. It is a scalar quantity. Therefore, this is a wrong statement. So the only correct statement from the following is, which one is the correct one, children? Second option, temperature is a scalar quantity. All others does not hold good. Moving ahead with the 9th question, children. The pair containing a scalar and a vector quantity. You are given few examples here and you have to identify that pair which has both the magnitude as well as direction. Okay. Scalar as well as vector. So first of all, let us identify them. Volume is a scalar quantity. Perimeter is a scalar quantity. Volume. So how much volume is there? But which direction volume we won't consider? The magnitude only, no direction. Perimeter only that the total border length, whether it is a square, rectangle, circle, whatever it is, the total length you will be telling. So it is also scalar. So this pair consists of both scalars only. So just now we have discussed the work is a scalar, and as we know the time is a scalar. Mass is a scalar quantity, whereas force is a vector quantity. Length is a scalar quantity and distance is a scalar quantity. So it asks you to identify the pair containing both the scalar and vector. So among the 4 examples, which one has both the scalar as well as vector, children? Third option consists of both scalar and vector. So moving to the next question, that is 10th question. The set containing only vector quantities is, first of all again, let us identify this electric charge. So electric charge is a scalar quantity, current is also a scalar, acceleration vector, variable velocity, whatever be the velocity, it is a vector quantity. Depth indicates only the length, it is a scalar, and force is a vector. Circumference is a scalar. perimeter or circumference is a scalar and volume is also a scalar. So which among the set containing vector quantities? So the correct option is option 2. Acceleration and variable velocities are both vectors, but all others are different. Moving to the 11th question, which of the following vectors has greater magnitude? Magnitude is nothing but is indicated totally by a scalar. Okay, and as we know that for a scalar, both negative and positive values it can take. Scalar means how much value it is there. Here, what is the magnitude? 10 meters. Let us not bother about the direction because they are asking us to find out the greater magnitude. So, what is the magnitude here? 10 meters. What is the magnitude here? Minus 10 meters. Minus indicates the direction, whether it is positive direction or negative direction, but magnitude is 10 only. Here 150 meters and here 1000 meters in the negative direction. So, among 10, 150 and 1000, which one is greater? Fourth option, that is 1000. So, don't get confused, children, with your mathematics. So, which is having the higher numerical value? The higher numerical value in this is 1000 and minus indicates that it is moving in the opposite direction of that. So, minus indicates only direction, nothing more than that. Okay, so 1000 meters towards east. Moving to the next one, 12th one. Which of the following statements are correct? Let us check one by one. A vector is represented by a directed line segment. Of course, a vector is represented by a directed line segment. True. Length of that line segment is proportional to the magnitude of the vector. Of course, larger the length, larger will be magnitude. Lesser the length, lesser will be magnitude. So, length of that line segment is proportional to magnitude of the vector. Length of that line segment gives direction of that vector. False. Length indicates the magnitude. This arrowhead indicates the direction. So, third option is false. Fourth one, direction of that line segment gives direction of the vector. So, you are asked to find out the correct statement. Direction of the line segment, this is the direction of the line segment, indicates the direction of that vector. Of course, it is true. So, which among them are the correct options, children? All first, second and fourth holds good. So, 3 options are correct, multiple correct answer. Moving ahead with the 13th question, children. Among the following, the quantity which is not a scalar. 20 kg, how much is there? No direction, it is a scalar quantity. 15 meters is again a scalar. 40 seconds is scalar, but 13 meters due north indicates both the magnitude as well as direction. So, it must be a vector. So, which among them is not a scalar? Answer is fourth option. So, 13 meter due north is not a scalar quantity. Moving ahead with the 14th question, children. Among the following quantity, which one is a scalar quantity? Scalar means it must have only magnitude and no direction. As it is having direction, it must be vector. Here also direction vector, here also direction with only magnitude, it must be a scalar. Therefore,